Every year, Apple releases a new iPhone. Now, I skipped out on last year's because I knew that the iPhone 15 Pro was gonna be the deal. But is it really? Some of the main questions I did have when I first got this phone were, how is titanium gonna hold up? How does the camera look? And how is that action button really gonna help anything? And just how is the phone overall? Like, is it different from last year's? Now, before I get into the video, I really do want to say, if you like my content and if you really want to see what I have coming up in store, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Comment down below what you guys want to see, and let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the new cameras on this phone. We are still using the 48 megapixel sensor from the 14 Pro, but it's a little bit more updated, better in low light, better with noise. But the main thing that I am focused on is log shooting. Now, if you guys don't know what log is, this is basically what it is. It turns down the contrast, the saturation, and just disables that sharpness that you can usually see on an iPhone's video. And now what I can do is I can color grade it in Premiere Pro, give it a nice correction grade, and it looks like you're filming on a legit camera. Now, you can get a 5x optical zoom lens with the 15 Pro Max, but I'm not gonna get a huge phone just for that optical zoom. That's not really necessary. So let's move on to the next question. Next up, the battery. So number one, I do have to say I can get through a whole entire day's worth of just doing whatever I can on this phone, whether it be filming, whether it be just scrolling through TikTok, or even just YouTube. My only issue or gripe about it is that I used to use my iPhone 13 Pro for about 2 days without charging it. So coming from 2 days now to 1 day, I don't know. It doesn't seem like I really upgraded, but that's just probably because of the processor. It still does give me around about 15 hours of life if I do not use the camera. If I use the camera, that literally jumps down to about 5 hours. I'm not joking. It kind of sucks. With the newly added USB-C port, you can now do so many things that you couldn't before. Like, let's say you wanted to charge your homie's phone, boom, that's perfect. You can do that now. Or if you wanted to hook your phone up to an exterior screen and play games with a mouse and keyboard or a controller, boom, you can do that now. Or let's say you wanted to shoot 4K 60 FPS ProRes log. You can now shoot that on an external SSD. That is mind-blowing. And it's just nice that if I don't really charge my phone overnight, I can literally put this bad boy in the charger for 30 minutes and get roughly 60%. So I think that's a win-win for me. Now, this next topic I have really thought about, and there have been a lot of ups and downs opinions about this, the action button. Now, this year, Apple has completely ditched that mute switch to go for an action button, kind of like how they do on the Apple Watches. You can map every single app with this button. Let's say you wanted to open the Home app. You can open the Home app. You wanted to open Blackmagic Cam. You can open that. You can do shortcuts with this. You can do a lot of things with this action button. But on a usual day-to-day basis, you're so used to pressing that button or flipping that switch for your mute that you end up just subconsciously either doing it on accident or something else. There's a whole bunch of things I'm not really thinking about that end up affecting it, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, that was a kind of a rant, but it's a really hard topic to talk about because there are really good things about it, but there are also kind of bad things about it. Speaking of the edges, let's go ahead and talk about that new titanium edging. So personally for me, I really did not like the stainless steel look and the feel. I really love a brushed feel on a phone, and my golly, this feels really nice in the hand, especially with the rounded edges. It just makes it feel less sharp and edgy in your hand and just more comfortable. Now, I could go on forever about the processor because that's my speed, but I really don't want to bore you guys. So let's just say it came from a 5 nanometer process down to a 3 nanometer process. And that's really, really, really good. There are more efficiency cores, which I don't think so, but more performance cores. Like if you're playing a graphically intensive game with a lot of shaders, it is going to be 2 times as fast. That's what they say, 2 times, but I don't know, we'll see. But that's pretty much it about the processor. Not really much has changed. So my conclusion for this 30-day review would have to be that if you have like a 12 or 13, I would honestly say upgrade, because the new USB-C port, the new camera, the new screen, the new titanium, just everything, it's honestly a really good upgrade. But let's say you have a 14 Pro, or you're really not that into USB-C or transfer speeds or charging speeds, you don't really care about any of that, don't upgrade, don't waste your money. With that said, if you guys have any comments, concerns, or anything that you guys want to add, please post it down in the comments. I love hearing you guys' support and anything you have to say. Maybe I've enticed you to grab a phone, maybe I haven't, maybe I've reverted you guys from getting a phone. Either way, I don't mind. I like it either way. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and talk to you later. Peace out.